Hello, everyone. Oh my god, how many movies did I see at this festival? Yeah, I know. I'm taking so long. But I figured since it's Thanksgiving weekend and you guys aren't going to be doing anything, I thought I'd recommend a film that I saw at the festival that's on Netflix currently that I didn't get to review yet. So, Passing is the directorial debut by one of the best actors of the last 15 years, Rebecca Hall. You're probably familiar with her work if you've seen The Town, Vicky Cristina Barcelona, and one of my favorite movies of all time, Christine, which I think she gives probably her best performance in, and I think she was severely overlooked that year. I love that movie so much, and I love her performance in it, and I think she's a criminally underrated actor, and she was also very good in The Night House, which just came out back in like August or September, and nobody saw that movie, but she was great in it, and that movie's pretty good, but I'll review that later. When I found out she was directing a movie, I was so excited. I was like, you know what? I don't even know what it's about. I will just click on it. I'll buy the ticket. She adapted a book by Nella Larson with the same name, and it's about a woman who meets someone from her past who is passing as a white woman in New York, and it stars Tessa Thompson and Ruth Negga and Andre Holland and Bill Camp and Alexander Skarsgård. And for a directorial debut, I think Rebecca Hall knocked it out of the park, but I think she still has a lot more growing to do, which is very exciting because for the most part, whenever like one of these really good actors starts directing, you can automatically expect a good performance from the actors. I've talked about this so many times, but not a lot of the time these actor turned directors actually understand what makes movies good and the aesthetics and all of those things. We got that, with Clint Eastwood sometimes he understands that. It's kind of just like he's throwing darts at a board with his eyes closed, and sometimes it hits and sometimes it doesn't. Bradley Cooper in A Star is Born, amazing, but then you have like James Franco in The Disaster Artist, where he's starring, wrote, direct, produced, like he's doing so many things. It's hard to like make that movie exceptional when you're doing everything and you're not delegating those things to other people. I didn't hate The Disaster Artist, I just thought it was fine, but I thought it could have been so much better if someone else directed it. So yeah, as I was saying, Rebecca Hall really understands what directing is, and I'm really excited for what she does next. I mean, I really loved her choice of camera positioning and, the types of shots that she wanted to do. I mean, you can tell that she's sort of hiding the fact that there's a low budget, because whenever they're outside, you don't see a whole lot of like city landscapes or sweeping camera moves where you see this huge set. It's very tight. There's a lot of close-ups, and the close-ups are amazing. I mean, the camera placement is beautiful. The lighting choices are very purposeful, and I'm really excited for what she does next, because I thought that this was a very good stepping off point. I don't see this movie like doing a whole lot in terms of like awards and like, people seeing it, because it is shot in black and white, and people don't like black and white movies, I guess, even though a lot of the best, like a lot of these high profile movies that are black and white end up actually being really good. Tessa Thompson and Ruth Negga are amazing in this movie. I think that they're one of the highlights of the film. I don't think I've seen Tessa Thompson lead a movie in recent memory or at all. Like I can't think of one for some reason off the top of my head, but I thought that she carried this film so well, and I think she had a hard job because she was sort of like the straight man to what Ruth Negga was doing. Like Tessa Thompson is the Christian Bale's Batman to Ruth Negga's Heath Ledger's Joker, because what Ruth Negga has to do in this film is a lot more flashy, and she pulls it off and she's amazing in it, but I think Tessa Thompson had a harder job to do, and I think she did great. And one of the other big standouts of the film is the score by Devonte Hines from Blood Orange fame, and it was so beautiful. It felt like jazz, very much of the era, and I think Devonte Hines needs to be doing more scores. He kind of reminds me of Quincy Jones, whenever Quincy Jones started scoring movies back in the mid 60s, and every time I watch a movie and Quincy Jones did the score, it always stands out in a good way, and I feel that way about Devonte Hines' score in this film. The one slight I have against this film is that I think it's a little too predictable. It's predictable in a good way, in the fact that like the end is inevitable, but like I literally saw the end of this movie coming almost beat for beat. It sort of happened and I was like, okay, I guess that's fine. It sort of dampened my excitement for the rest of the movie, but it's sort of setting it up, and it really is unavoidable. I mean, there's no other way that this movie could end, so I don't slight it entirely, but I was just like, I know where this movie's going, and it went there, and I guess that's where it needed to go. In conclusion, I'm just going to say what I said before. Rebecca Hall is a criminally underrated actor, and I think if she continues down down this path. Hopefully she doesn't become a criminally underrated director and instead gets the praise that she deserves. And I'm giving Passing a 7 out of 10. If you enjoyed this video, hit the like button. If you agree or disagree, tell us in the comments. Subscribe if you haven't already. Share with your friends. Do all the things. Happy Thanksgiving. Happy Genocide Day. Blah, 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 blah. Okay, bye-bye.
You have to get past the Avengers and Marvel shit at some point, okay? Other people make movies.